to the opening night of Total Party Kill, Third Coast Comedy's live D&D show. So, we are so delighted that you all are here tonight. Do we have any new people to D&D in the crowd tonight? A few, little maybe. I'm glad to hear it. So D&D is just a collaborative storytelling game where I, Logan Sandrod Baird, your humble dungeon master, will set a scene. I will describe a scene, and then each of our players will tell me in their character how they are responding to that scene, and then there's a little dice rolling to see if you're successful or not successful, and we just kind of go with that. I would now love to introduce our delightful cast. First off, we've got Sam Brewer. Bill Special guest Allison Summers. Dylan Davis. And Catherine Schwartz. Welcome. Excellent. Well, so let's paint a picture. Let's make a little scene here. So, our characters have lived their entire lives in the shadow of the half-scarred citadel, an immense fortress floating in the way that fortresses typically don't, above a ramshackle town, half of the fortress limned in silver light, ornate balustrades, and cornices, and arches, and just everything that make architects just squee with delight. And then the other half, a torn wreckage, just like a tangle of pipes and broken masonry that also sort of weeps alchemical liquids down onto the town below. The town is not known by any particular name, but is colloquially known as the Gutters, in part because of this constant strange rain that falls. Now, the Half-Scarred Citadel is the home to the famed adventuring group, the Silver Hand. Silver Hand. This is so cool. Whatever. This is not a story about them. But instead, each year, the famed Silver Hand has adventured for hundreds of years and has saved so many people who've come to shelter under the wing of their floating fortress. And so the town is a town of refugees and people who are looking for a safe place to be. And each year they take on 5 apprentices. And so this year we find ourselves circling the town. You see kind of the camera pan through a little bit, circling down to kind of the wealthier side of town, to a very kind of ornate 3-story structure that, as you kind of go inside, is decorated with like all sorts of trophies and kind of, you might say kind of plunder, very tastefully but very ostentatiously decorated. And we kind of wind up a circling staircase and down a hallway into a very well-appointed room where a young person awakes. Sam, would you describe your character for us?
Yes, of course. My name is Asmondus Montrioso. You can call me Az. He's a tiefling, pretty tall. He's about 6 feet tall, very lithe. He's lying in bed. It's about 1 p.m. when he wakes up.
That's about right. And, tell us what does Az's room look like?
Oh, it is just everything is either red or black velvet, gold inlay. He's got several items that his mother acquired on her adventures. He's got a massive painting of his assumed father, Asmodeus, hangs above the bed. He wakes up and goes, "Good morning, Father."
Is it also a velvet painting?
Velvet tapestry.
Love it. Very soft to the touch. And so as kind of groggily awakens at kind of a leisurely 1 p.m., there's just a timid knock at the door, and a short, plump halfling woman, curling gray hair, carrying kind of a tray, steaming tray in one hand. Your long-time maid and perhaps more present maternal figure, Valtaga. Valtaga kind of approaches you on the bed and starts to slide the tray.
Good morning, Master Az. We have your breakfast here, your waffles, and we've got the bacon. I found the bacon that you like at the market. This letter came for you.
A letter? I throw the food out of the way.
Okay, well, you're such an excitable young man, always very excitable.
Sorry, just tearing into the letter.
So you open the letter, you start to tear into it almost as soon as you turn it over, and it's this deeply kind of embossed silver wax, just with a handprint kind of in the midst of it as the seal, and you know from word of mouth that this is the letter. This is the letter, and so you...
Valtaga, it came. It's here.
Is this it?
It did.
Oh,
They've selected me.
Oh,
Of course I knew they would, but it's good to feel.
I'm gonna go start to prepare. We need a goodbye feast. We need a farewell snack. Farewell. Yes, I'll go prepare
I
that.
would go for ribs
Oh yes, yes.
and mashed potatoes.
Do you want the short ribs or the long ribs? What do we think?
Long ribs.
Always the long ribs with you.
All right, excellent. So ribs, steak.
Oh yes.
Okay. Would you care for like maybe a haunch or something?
No haunches. I'm feeling. I want a leg though.
Yes. Well, I'll definitely not do the haunch and do the leg. Yes.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't cook my own food.
Well, I mean, I would have a job if you did. So I mean, I'm very happy. I'll go get your leg and your steak and your ribs. That would be good. Oh, I'm so excited for you.
She sort of sprightly leaves the mess for now and kind of traipses down out of there. And yes, you open the letter, and as you start to read it, this voice resounds in your head as you start to read it. Welcome, Master Asmodeus Pentroso. You have been selected this year to apprentice to the Silver Hand. Please present yourself no later than tomorrow at dawn at the great elevator to take you up to your new life. Make any goodbyes you need to. This is a one-way trip to adventure.
I fold the letter and put it in my pocket. I can take this for later. I start gathering clothing and my staff power. I take down the tapestry of my father, fold it nicely, put it in my suitcase. I take a brief nap before I go back to see enjoy my long ribs and leg.
Yes, when you awake, the mess from breakfast is been cleaned up, and there is a steaming tray of various meats that you requested kind of next to the bed, and a collection of small stones and flowers, which is sometimes what Valtaga leaves for you, from your special times away. So, excellent. Well, so then we pull back from this lovely scene, and we circle around again the town to a little burrow down kind of very like short. It looks for like a burrow for some very small creatures, and a fairly spare sort of place. Very tidy, but very spare, this little burrow. And there's just not even a room, but more of a little nook off to one side, where we find Bill's character. Bill, will you describe your character for us?
Yeah, it'd be a pleasure. My name's Thurman. I'm a kobold, so to speak. I'm about a whopping 3 feet tall, but what I lack in height, I make up for in candor. I can't see so good in daylight, so I have a classic pair of tinted lenses by no modern name. And I got no last name because that's for people with real families.
Describe your little nook here. Like, what does it look like?
Perfect. So I wake up in sort of like a hybrid between a sleeping bag and a bed. It's more or less like linens on the ground. But it looks okay. It doesn't look bad. It looks okay. Me and my mom and my pop live together in this half squalor, half doing all right state. So we tend to wear darker colors to sort of mask a little bit of the dirt because we're okay with, we embrace that kind of thing around here. Pal.
That was great. So you hear the kind of distinctive patter of one of your parents' scaly clawed feet kind of traipsing their way down the little hallway to your nook, and it's your dad, Kip, or Giver Kip, as he is a priest of the local, the god of the Silver Hand, the quest giver, and so Kip is a very kind of like very stout kobold who are usually a little lithe and slender, but very stout with a kind of wide, toothy grin. He said, "Hey, kiddo."
How's it going, Kip?
Yeah, it's still Dad. It's still Dad.
I'll have you know, I am a fully grown kobold. We reach full adulthood at age 6.
And that's great. That doesn't really change the relationship between us that much.
I'm doing big things these days.
Quest giver, this is the quest you gave me today. All right. So, let me.
Making progress already.
Yeah. Look. A letter came for you. I think it might be a big deal.
Oh, give me a break.
He hands over the letter and just kind of waits expectantly.
Huh. This one looks actually real.
Yeah. That's I don't recall bringing you a lot of fake letters, but yeah, that's a real letter. You want to open it? You want to open it? Do you want me to open it?
You open it. What's your angle here, Kip?
Father's pride.
I'll take what I can get. Yeah, open it. Let's see what we got.
So you kind of like use a little scaly little like a clawed thumb to kind of pop it open, and he starts to try to read it to you, but it comes out as the voice, kind of this booming voice that's not his own. He goes, "Welcome, Thurman, no last name. You have been selected by the Silver Hands as this year's apprentice. Please present yourself no later than tomorrow at the base of the great elevator to take yourself up to the half-scarred citadel. Make all your goodbyes, say your farewells, because this is a one-way trip, kiddo."
Wow. The letter said no last name.
It did. It looks like a placeholder that they didn't remove. It looks a little bit like okay, so I'll say, like, I'm not all that high up in the priest hierarchy of the quest giver, but I do know that they occasionally might use a form letter too.
Alright. Well, what do you think, Kip? Should I
Look, this is it. This is the quest that you are being given. You gotta take it with both hands and just claw it to shreds.
You would say that. Alright, I'll tell you what. Fine. I'll go on this little trip. I'll be back by sunset, but I'm gonna grab...
No, did you hear the part at the end where it's...
I didn't hear much. tell you what, I figure I'm probably going to get this thing done faster than everyone else. So I'm just saying, just keep my spot at the table. We'll see what happens.
And you see your father just muttering to himself, "Quest giver never gives you a quest, you can't complete the quest." All right, kiddo. Look, I'm gonna tell your mom. We're gonna want to maybe, I don't know, maybe like a goodbye dinner or something. Yeah. So don't lose yourself too far before you go over there tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah, perfect. And one thing.
No.
What's Mom's name?
Your mother, Rosalind?
Rosalind, that's right. How could I forget?
You're not gonna call her that.
Huh?
What?
I'll see you later, Pop.
All right, kiddo. All right.
Grab my coin and my sunglasses, and I just head out for the day.
So we then pull back, and we circle kind of back closer to Az's part of town, again kind of the wealthier side of the gutters, and we circle around to this sprawling kind of compound that is walled, and as you kind of go inside, it's very well appointed. But if a style could be described as beige without anything actually being beige, that's it. It's very, it's very tastefully well appointed, but a little overthought, I think. Now it's kind of a little bit later in the day, and we circle around to a room that looks a little dusty, like nobody's been there for a little bit, and an empty bed, some kind of posters up on the wall, but nobody's there at the moment. But we there's a little tinkle of glass over to one side, and there's a sound of like a window latch being kind of forced open, and we circle around and we discover Allison's character. Allison, will you describe your character?
Yeah, I'm Pretty Perry. I am a kinku. I'm a emo. You might recognize me from bands such as Passive Wisdom or Recall. It's a big one. So.
And what does Critty look like?
Critty has the bangs. Critty has the eyeliner. Critty has the fingerless, one fingerless. Critty wears what's the sexy pantyhose? What are those? Fishnets, yeah.
Delightful. So as Critty kind of forces open the window and climbs inside, let me get a stealth check from you, just to sort of see how quietly this happens.
First roll.
First roll.
Woo! Oh, one!
Yes! That's what we like!
So as she tries to climb over the windowsill, fully catches like her fishnets on like a piece of broken glass, tangles up, kind of flops forward and knocks over like the end table that's right below the window. And as you're sort of dangling upside down, hanging by your fishnets, you see a stack of mail that's addressed to you, like it looks like it's just been waiting there for a long time. And the one on top, yeah, has that silver embossed hand on the back of it.
I'm gonna open it up.
And as you kind of flick it open and begin to read it, it says, "Welcome, Pretty Hudson / Perry now, and welcome to the Silver Hand Apprentice program. We are so delighted to have you. especially as your family is in such good standing with the hand. And please present yourself no later than tomorrow morning at the great elevator at the base of, to be taken up to the Citadel. Please say your goodbyes and farewells, because you are off to a life of adventure. Please say hi to your father.
Thanks. Whoa. Okay. Okay, yeah.
Why don't you roll a sleight of hand check to see if you can get your fishnets untangled from the middle?
19.
All right. And with
Plus 5.
with fingers deft from years of playing the viol, you in a lot of different very hardcore bands, you disentangle yourself and you kind of set and get ready and move on. So we then pull back and we circle around to another portion of the town. There's a little library, a little public library, and there's a little kind of like community center, and in between those things is a little similar to like the Cobalt Burrows, but a little broader and taller, and it's just full of activity. There's so many goblins of all sizes, like kind of pattering, walking their way through, and dancing, making candles, and just a lot of like, traditional goblin activities. And we move over to a corner, actually, of the library, and we see Dylan's character. Dylan, will you please describe your character for us?
Yes, hello. My name is Hyacinth Slenderbottom. It loses translation in common when you switch it over. In Goblin, it means something cool like a valley, but when you tell everyone it's cool your last name is Slenderbottom, you quickly become Tiny Butt forever. I'm very tall. I have dark jet black hair, long claws, and kind of like a tan skin, and I have to wear glasses because I have a astigmatism, and it makes it hard to read, so I have to get dual prescriptions. And I also have battle contacts, which kind of get hard to put in the middle of battle. I'm new at all of this, at most things. So I'm in the corner of the library. This is my reading nook. I hollowed out 2 bookshelves and made like a little, I didn't tell my dads. I'm in there reading The Adventures of the Dragon Knights Volume 3, and it's my favorite one. It's like the 4th time. And I'm almost done with it. And just 59 minutes ago, I ritual cast Find Familiar.
Sure, absolutely. Because
I need a friend.
Yeah.
That's not related to me.
You found a spell that initially you translated as Find Friend. And
I realized I projected later. I double checked. It's familiar.
It's just kind of at first glance understandable. Other lonely people have made the same mistake, and so you've been working and you decided you're going to do some light reading while you're waiting for the kind of spell to take place and to take effect. And all of a sudden, with just kind of this little creature appears in front of you. It's a tiny. Could it be a tiny dragon? Is that possible?
I start shivering with excitement.
And then
like shivering really.
You take a slightly closer look and you realize, it's a lizard. It's a lizard. It does have like 2 tiny vestigial like little wings, and it is for whatever reason kind of like bright purple, but definitely like a lizard. But understandable, you might mistake it for a dragon for a moment. And in its little mouth, it's holding a letter.
Hello, new best friend. I'm very pleased. Oh, wow, I'm very pleased to meet you too. What's your name? Nubby? Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. You can drop it.
Thank you.
You have a lovely voice, Nubby.
I've been carrying this around for like half an hour.
First of all, all, no one's ever done anything that much to me. I am your best friend. I will do anything for you, please. I don't know the protocol for friendship. If this is too much, I will back off. But I need to know.
Let's just take it a step at a time.
Okay.
And, why did you open this thing I brought you?
Oh, great! Yeah, I would love to open this letter.
Yeah.
And like trembling with one hand, I put Nubby on my shoulder,
Okay.
and then I like flip the letter over. What is it?
You have it upside down. There we go.
Welcome, Hyacinth Slenderbottom,
Oh my god!
to the Silverhead Apprentice Program. Please present yourself no later than tomorrow morning at the base of the Great Elevator. And be prepared for a life of adventure. Make your farewells.
Nubby,
Yes.
I've got a pack.
We pull out from that touching scene, and we circle around town again. We circle around to one of the many small lakes of effluvia, and with kind of a rainbow sheen of strange liquids that have accumulated from the weird rains from the citadel above. And we see a kind of a lone figure tossing rocks into the effluvia. Catherine, will you describe your character for us, please?
Yeah, sure, I guess. Hello, I'm a turtle. Name's Gromler. Traditionally we travel in packs, known to a mild man. I'm medium-sized, whatever that means. Got a big shell. Tough exterior, I guess you could say, whatever. I never really had no one. I got a sharp beak, I got beady eyes, look just like my old man. That's why he hates me, why my mom hated me.
And as Grumler is tossing kind of rocks into this little pond, one of them comes flying back out of the pond, and there's something wrapped around it. And kind of smacks wetly against your front of your shell.
Good thing I have a beak.
And there's this letter kind of tied to this rock. And
I never got no mail before.
do you open it?
It's got my name. I know those letters. That's my name.
Indeed.
I don't read good though.
Well, why
Here
don't
we
you?
go. Why not?
Welcome, Grumler.
I can hear it.
Welcome to the Silverhand Intern Program.
Those guys.
Please present yourself no later than tomorrow morning at the base of the Great Elevator to start your life of adventure. Make your farewells, make your goodbyes, and say goodbye to the life you've known.
Can my rocks come?
Yes, your rocks can come.
Alright, yeah, whatever. Might be cool. I don't know. Who cares?
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Great. And so we pull back from that scene. So they all received their letters, and we kind of go through a little bit of a flash forward, right? Like they see them kind of all gathering at the base of this great elevator, which looks like a highly rickety structure that with a lot of pulleys and ropes that like leads up to the very base of the citadel. You'd heard tell like that in the past that there'd been some sort of like anti-gravity field that kind of lifted people up. That definitely broke at some points, and there's just kind of rubble around the base of this. But the Hudson Pulley Corporation definitely like had a whole built an entire elevator for them, and are in excellent standing with the Silverhand as a result, since they need to kind of purvey their goods and services downwards. the Silverhand has a lot of like, we'll say like relics and items that they've gotten on their travels that they send down to kind of be sold on their behalf, as well as a lot of merch. There's a lot of merch from Silverhand. They gather you all up, and at the base of the great elevator, there is just a sign that says "Come on up," and so you all get on the great elevator, and as soon as all of you are on, the 5 of you, it starts to rise and rise and rise and rise. Is anyone afraid of heights? Yeah, heights. Why don't you roll? Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Should be no problem.
I can't believe there was no bad boy here.
Constitution here.
As you-
Oh, that is a
Mm.
19.
Oh, okay. So you start to feel kind of the gorge rise as you kind of take a look at like the relatively rickety cage around you, and as it rises and rises and rises, and you start to clutch at it, but you're able to swallow it down in the way that you need to do to stay normal.
When you grow up on me, I'm pushing you off.
You good, Books?
No. I'm very scared of heights.
Okay, this is like a special program.
Oh. Well, my dad always says to get over your fears, you have to face them. So I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna stay here, and I'm gonna do good. I'm not gonna throw up.
Whatever, just don't puke on me.
You're gonna do well.
I'm not. Fine, I won't do well either. I'm not gonna throw up. I'm not gonna throw up.
I once had a song called Try Your Best. I don't know if you remember it. It's like, try your best.
I don't.
Not really ringing any bells.
Hi, I'm Hyacinth.
Okay, Books.
Like tiny butt?
Well, no. And then I go into a 10-minute explanation.
In the middle of that, I go, oh, Grammy! I know you were here.
I'm still explaining the name
Yeah.
while you do it.
I wish this chick would just start puking. Hey, what's up, Thurman?
Hey, how you doing? These your pulleys? These your pulleys?
What do you mean by that?
Is this your family's pulleys?
My,
Gosh, jeez.
It's not necessarily that my butt is small. It's that, like, at the middle where.
Really, I didn't know you were back in town.
yeah, I got my letter and I just got done touring, so I was like, well, I guess.
I was over at your parents' house the other day. We were having a wonderful dinner.
So you students knows each other too?
Yeah,
Who's this small one?
Name's Thurman. How's it going, please?
Fine.
Good. Look, we're all friends already, huh?
I like it. This is good. I've already got 4 new friends. This is a great day. This is really going well. And I got a familiar. Yeah, Nubby. Oh, that's right, 5 friends. And I give Nubby a high five.
You don't actually hear that voice. You just hear a from the lizard on their shoulder.
Cool.
I covered Nubby's ears. Okay.
So the elevator kind of clatters to a stop, and the gate kind of retracts, and in front of you is a stooped individual. I guess they're a human. There are a lot of humans in town.
You tell us.
But I mean, they're very like they're
They don't know.
Well, the reason you might question it is like they're very stooped, almost stooped double. They're in a full butler's uniform, but in the butler's uniform, you see like all of these kind of like tubes and things kind of passing through it. They have all these kind of tubes kind of feeding into different parts of their body with fluids moving through them, and they're so cadaverous that it's really kind of hard to recognize what they are initially. After a moment, they...
Only I'd let you describe them.
After a moment, they kind of shuffle forward, and you hear this.
intern program. I am Digby.
Greetings, Digby.
Oh.
And I do a very deep curtsy.
Oh,
Digby.
Yeah, does that elevator go back down?
too late.
That's okay, Grumbler. I'll take care of it.
Oh, even worse.
Excuse me, Digby. I'm here to be an apprentice. I would like to go do my adventuring now.
Hasty, follow me. And they turn and start to like shuffle at the slowest possible pace, kind of up into the bowels of the citadel. We we skip forward from that a bit, and there because it would take way too long to describe every step that Digby
10
takes.
minutes of walking. Let's do it.
And so they walked, and so they walked some more. As Digby shows you to your quarters, which are very spare and very small, and has you kind of store everything, and then issues you these sorts of like uniforms that are definitely sort of jumpsuits of sorts, and then takes you all around and introduces you to the members of the Silver Hand.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Do you have black? I'm not really one color. It's uniform. Just green's not really my thing.
You can dye it. I'll find some ink.
Okay.
I'll dye it for you if you want. I read a couple books about it. I do a lot of cosplaying in the spring. And,
Of course you do.
yeah, it's a great hobby. It keeps me dexterous, keeps my hands busy, keeps the mind from racing. Also, do you have something for nothing? He's also an adventurer. I feel like did he get a jumpsuit? Or is he left out? Or are you dying? Do I need to restart you?
You killed him.
Oh no!
No.
Oh, okay.
Resolution.
Oh, no.
No jumpsuits for familiars.
Okay, that's fine. No, yeah, I still think you're a valuable member of the team. You're welcome.
And Digby, as I was showing you to your quarters and having you stow your things, and issuing you your bright green jumpsuits, takes you around and to various parts of the citadel in which they introduce you to the member of the Silver Hand that you will be apprenticing under. And so we start with Gromler. He takes you into an area that looks a little bit like a dojo, mixed with kind of like a lot of blackboards on the walls with like intricate kind of diagrams of battles, and a very tasteful and small selection of kind of trophies placed very carefully on shelves. And there's a tiny, wizened individual who is sitting chain smoking, and you would recognize from the posters and sculptures and occasional kind of holograms around town that this is the lieutenant, the masterful tactician of the Silver Hand, a small gnomish woman with buzz-cut kind of gray hair, wiry with muscle, deep creases and wrinkles, squinting eyes that seem like a beady black, not too unlike your own, and is just waiting for you, kind of smoking one cigarette after another.
Hey, I know I'm medium, but you're like extra small.
Oh good, we have a comedian among us.
Whatever. Maybe I make jokes to like cover up the hurt inside. I don't know. Whatever. And this place is kind of sick.
It is, you like what we have done with the place?
Yeah, it's sick.
It is magnificent. It is hard won through battle. Take the spoils. Do you have any spoils? Have you made any spoils yourself?
I got 5 rocks.
So it will be the remedial program. All right. Well, yes. So, come over here. What should I be calling you?
My name's Gromler.
Grumbler.
Yeah.
Grumbler. Okay. Well,
Actually, I recognize you from, you know, whatever, y'all are pretty cool, whatever, everyone kind of looks up to y'all down there, so, you were my favorite, so this is actually kind of cool.
well, that will make things a bit easier, I'm sure. So, Grumbler, you are a warrior, yes, at heart. You fight.
I mean, I've gotten in a bar fight or two. But
What weapon skills have you already developed for yourself?
I've already talked about the rocks. I don't know, I'm kind of an improv, I like to grab whatever's available and smash.
Have you learned have you already mastered any fighting techniques, any schools of discipline?
Besides smashing and clawing. Aimlessly, no.
I see. Well, let us put you through your paces and we'll make an evaluation and see where we need to focus the most effort.
Wait, you're not gonna give up on me?
We just met moments ago and this is an apprentice program. I just like to check beforehand to see if
You already lasted longer than my pops.
And just like quietly she walks over and hands you a cigarette.
Sick.
And we go through like a quick montage here, like a quick training montage in the classic tradition of training montages, where first she has you kind of try and balance on top of like a post. So let's roll we're gonna have you roll. Let's say it's gonna be a dexterity check here to see like how well you're able to balance on this post. So you'll just add whatever is, yeah, there we go.
0. 15.
Okay, yeah, like so you're kind of balancing on the post, kind of like, so now one leg, now the other. You don't have to make the sound. Much of battle is about remaining quiet. I know there's a tradition of warriorship that is about the yelling and the screaming, but we are the smart warriors, yes? Your weapon, the first weapon you learn is your mind.
Yeah, be smart.
You learn new and exciting ways to say that phrase. Yes. Very good. All right. Now, and she picks up. You like the rocks?
Yeah, I like them.
Can you dodge the rocks?
I don't know, I've never been on the receiving end of them.
Let us find a way to do this. And so she comes over and with her tiny, sinewy fingers takes the rocks from
Wait,
you.
can I talk to him first? I
Always.
know it's just practice and it's not real, I'm not mad at you, okay? Do good, okay?
I don't want to ask this, but I'm going to do these rocks have names?
No.
Roll a deception check.
Deception?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus 2. 15 again.
She like, just kind of smokes a little, looks at you for a moment. Alright. Let us see if you can dodge them. And she begins to kind of like wing them at you. I'm going to roll 5 acrobatics checks for me. So, yep. Yeah, let's hear.
Over here, you can roll. Got more in here. Came prepared.
High 5 rocks.
Alright.
Oh man. Might be putting all of them in jail.
Yeah. So what does it look like when Gromler is trying to be kind of acrobatic? What do we think it looks like physically?
Similar to him succeeding at balancing.
So lickety split, the lieutenant kind of wings these at you, And it looks like about 3 of them like fell into your shell, and then 2 you kind of missed cleanly. But it also just hit your shell, right? Like it's fine. They kind of bounce off. And she said, "Interesting. This offers so significant tactical options. We will do more with this."
Myself am a rock.
So we pull back from that particular thing, and next we find Hyacinth being introduced to. Now Hyacinth is a magic user, but something that was made known to the Silver Hand is that Hyacinth loves her some dragons.
They're the most majestic creatures ever created. They deserve to be understood and respected instead of feared and hated. Thank you for coming. They're beautiful. I love their wings, their scales, the way they talk. Dragons are great. I'm sorry, Digby. I've been talking this whole time. Did you have a rebuttal?
No.
It's not a definitive no. I like that about you, Digby.
Thank you. As Digby introduces you to the Pathfinder. Now, the Pathfinder you would know largely because the Pathfinder is the member of the Silver Hand who's responsible for finding their way to new places. The one who tracks them and does that with the aid of the great indigo dragon known as Sorrow.
Oh my god.
And you're being led into this like large cavernous area, like with in one corner there's this huge heap of like wealth that looks kind of nestled into, and in the other corner.
Can I feel if it's still warm?
You can't quite get over there
Okay.
quite yet. Yeah, it'll be fine.
I make a mental note of where it is.
Yeah, and this tall, slender individual kind of walks over. They have long, plaited hair that, as you watch, like shifts in color. Kind of from white to auburn to kind of gold to like a bright pink, and then back. And they're so alabaster pale that they almost seem translucent. And you know, of course, that this is the Pathfinder.
Hey. I'm not wearing a hat. You are stunning. Oh my god.
Oh, you're so very kind.
My first compliment. This is the best day of my life.
Is this all a bit overwhelming for you?
So much. I have a hard time breathing.
Why don't we just take a few deep breaths? Slow. Let's go a little slower than that. Not as slow as Digby. I'm sorry, Digby, but slower than you're doing right now. Yeah. There we go. Now you must be Hyacinth. Yes.
That is my name, and no other name.
All right.
See, Nubby, I've learned boundaries.
Good.
Thank you.
I don't particularly stand on tradition formality here, so you don't have to call me the Pathfinder. You can call me by my name, Elolalalalalalu.
Aluminium.
Hello. Lulu.
Lulu.
Le.
Lil.
Lil. Elolalalalalalu.
Is that right?
It's the pronunciation is actually a little offensive, but we'll look past that.
I'll just call you Finder.
Let's if we're going to use the title, let's use the whole title, please.
Pathfinder.
You're getting closer. And I'll give you credit for that.
Nice. Can
So-
I take a note? Can I spell it in my book?
Yes, of course.
Okay, cool.
Of course,
And I
yes.
like quickly scribble down like as best I can. I ask for spelling a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'm making sure I know where the 2 dots above the letters are.
Yeah. There's so many umlauts in it.
Oh, that's what they are.
So you get to that, and very patiently waits for you to kind of finish writing. It's good to know that you're literate. It keeps you from having to repeat my instructions.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
I know that you're a magic user,
I
but
am.
a little bird told me that you're a fan of dragons.
Oh my God, don't even get me started. I think they're so great. 15 minutes.
About halfway through,
7.5 minutes.
they just like step forward and just gently put their hand over your mouth. So,
I can take a hand.
we're going to start here. The most important part of learning to care for a dragon. Would you like to learn to care for sorrow?
More than I desire to breathe again.
Would you like? That's intense. It's very intense and a little overwhelming for me, but we always have one in every class. So Levi, would you like to know Sorrow's real name?
I start weeping, just openly weeping. I do, I really do.
It's and if you really want to respect her,
Sure.
make sure to refer to her only by that name.
Should be no problem.
Now, do you know? You seem very well versed. Do you already know the first rule of how to care for a dragon?
Don't let their scales get dry.
That is very true. The second most important rule is you have to clean up their shit all the time. So, do you see that big shovel in the corner?
I do.
And do you see that kind of eye-watering pile of droppings over there? We're going to start you there.
I accept it. This mission, it's my mission. No one else can do it. I take my glasses off, I put my combat contacts in. I push up the slits of my dress and I get to shoveling shit! Whistling, I'm so happy.
Give me another Constitution saving throw to see how the stench of the dragon droppings do for you.
What's a 14 get me?
Like it's difficult. You almost blink out your battle contacts, but you're doing all right. Yeah.
Don't touch your eyes, don't touch your eyes. Oh, that is pungent.
Woo! We pull back from there, and we round a few corners into a large kind of what looks like a laboratory, where that seems to be kind of divided in two, and there are the twin wizards of the Silver Hand, dwarven twins, and the Oracle and the Falling Star. And Critty, you and Az are both brought into this room and introduced to them. The Oracle is a dwarven woman, probably around kind of 4.5 maybe feet tall, bright red hair, like curled in like a ton of like tiny curls. Also, her beard is also curled in a lot of tiny curls. And then her brother, similarly, only his curls are even more ornate and decorated, and his curls are very large. That's mostly how you can tell them apart, is the size of the curls. The one that you kind of like, to be, from the curl size, to be the Falling Star, walks over and says, "Well, look who we have here. I dare say we've got our apprentices. Now, what you must be, are you Critty Hudson, yes?"
Actually, my stage name is Critty Perry. I dated a guy that had hair like you.
Well,
Yeah.
what a magnificent anecdote. I'm sure that we will have plenty of time to talk about. Now, I'm going to take you under my particular wing. Now, Quinn, I believe you've got this tall gentleman over here. Are you some type of let's see, just such magnificent horns? You want, by any chance, a minotaur?
No, I'm a tiefling.
Oh, no, how silly of me. And his sister sighs, and she's like, you need to remember to wear your spectacles, Quentin, before you start insulting our new guests. Now, I'm Quinn, and you must be Asmundus.
Monterioso, thank your service.
Excellent. Probably won't use your last name when we're talking about things, but yeah, is there anything else I should be calling you?
welcome to call me Az if you prefer.
Well, we do love an affectionate nickname here, so as it is. So I'll tell you, welcome.
I wrote a song one time called As It Is.
They do. It's very embarrassing.
How splendid music, you say? Is that like a
Some people would say that they are moved by my songs. Some people would say that maybe I've changed their lives through my music.
Well, and that is fascinating. We are here though to talk about magic. So come over here, take a seat at these desks, and let's get started on the exploration of magic. Now, the first thing to know about magic is that you have to understand the math first. So it's all about the math. Now, for myself, Critty, you and I were going to be, it's been a few decades since I've been down to examine the schools of the town below. How are they on ballistic calculus these days?
I don't know. I dropped out.
So probably been just a massive grasp of trigonometry. Is that probably a...
Is that a subject?
So how is it that you do magic at all if you don't understand the math? That's what I don't understand here.
I mean,
Maybe you can
some
enlighten
people
me.
are just born with it.
That's a very interesting nature versus nurture argument. That I tell you what, we'll work on the calculus here. So first we take a look at these equations, and then Quinn, kind of pops up. Well, yes, and as you and I are going to spend a lot of time on probability, so it's certainly. How well did you do in your statistics class?
Statistics was not relevant. I do a lot of chaos magic. So probability can go out the window.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
I like to use my magic as inspired by my father, Asmodeus. You may have heard of him. Prince of the Nine Hells.
So, she shares a look with her brother that is the most polite version of an eye roll that you've ever seen. Just a. So, tell me, honey. So, bless your heart. Your father. You believe your father to be Asmodeus, the Prince of the Nine Hells.
Yes, you see, my mother made a deal to become a great adventurer with him, to bear his spawn. That would be me.
All right. So, let's get into the math. I need intelligence saving throws from each of you as they both launch into simultaneously, but aimed at both of you, but in a small enough proximity that it's very difficult to hear them one over the other, and neither of them seems willing to cede the stage to each other as they start to dig into the calculus. Let's see if you guys grasp any of it.
A natty.
Woo!
I have an 18.
An 18. All right. So, surprisingly enough, a few bits of education kind of come back to you. Not like for Critty, this is a beautiful mind moment of equations kind of unfolding in her head. Just taking it all in. As suddenly like the idea of like ballistic calculus, and you realize now that if you like threw your violin at somebody, you would know how to calculate the exact trajectory of it. Pretty good. For Az, it's not quite the revelatory moment, but you're able to grasp some basic concepts of statistics here. Like they're not starting off too deep. You're doing all right. Yeah, that's good.
If I set something on fire, it would burn. Sure.
we pull back. We pull away from that particular vignette, and we circle around. And we enter a small chapel. Where there is a tall elven man, his hair bound back in kind of a bun, and that Thurman would recognize as the high priest of the quest giver, known as the first giver, and he's like, hey pal, hey, you must be Thurman.
Yo, what's up?
Hey man, look at you. You're doing great. Look at you here. You finished the first part of your quest. You got here today.
It wasn't so hard, if I'm being honest with you. Kind of a prodigy, sort of. Hey, do you know where that data entry dude is who put me as no last name? Because I need to have a quick word with him.
Hey man, we'll dig into that. We'll vibe. We'll chill. We'll really get in. We'll dig.
I like your aesthetic, my guy.
Thank you, man. And he's dressed in a way. This is an elven man, hundreds and hundreds of years old, and he's dressed in a way that you've seen kind of really cool kids in town dress but like a few seasons back. Like it's just like a few, in this case, a few decades old. I think for him, which would be a few seasons back. And he's like, I don't stand on ceremony here, you don't have to call me like first giver. First giver's my father, am I right?
Yeah!
You just call me Cal. You just call me Cal.
Cal?
Yeah.
I wish my dad were like you.
Can I call you?
You won't even let me call him Kip.
Well, everyone's got different quests, man, and
The quest giver will never give you a quest you can't handle.
That's right, my man. That's right. That's right. We're gonna do some sick work together. So tell me, how's your faith? How's your walk, man, with the quest giver?
Oh, God, man. I have to go. To be honest with you, it's going pretty fine. I feel like that's sort of like my mom. Dad's a priest, mom's a thief. What will you do? And so it just kind of, what comes goes, and what goes comes.
Well, my man, I mean, there's a lot to dig into there, Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. So what's the quest you feel like is in front of you right now?
Oh, God, getting up that elevator and getting whatever this is did.
That's right. That's right. That's the first part of this quest.
Yeah.
And you know what the next part of this quest is going to be?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, man. In some ways it really doesn't, and in other ways it absolutely does.
You totally get me.
I'm glad we're vibing like this, Thurman. I'm glad we're just rapping, I'm glad we're just rapping like this.
Oh, I don't really.
Does he have a hat that he turns around backwards?
Does he skateboard?
Did he get arrested in 3 years?
No further questions.
Oh, that's true. You don't know yet. Yeah. And none of you else are in the room, so, we'll see. All right, Thurman, we're gonna get. So, I'll tell you what, man. How's your, high church elvish?
Yo. I'll tell you what, not good. But I have a base level of draconic.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, that's great, that's cool, especially for outreach programs. We got a great outreach programs. But I tell you what, first thing we need to know, you need to really understand the quest giver's words in the original language. So we're gonna get you into kind of some reading, some high elvish. I got some syllabus, a workbook here, but it's a cool workbook, man. So it's gonna be great.
I feel like we're starting to get on different pages here.
He sets you down, and so it opens this kind of workbook in front of you, and it's yeah, I'm gonna go get us something to eat, a snack or something, man. And I'll come back, but you just get us started here, all right, brother?
Cool. All right, I'll get to it.
Awesome.
Hey, have a great trip.
Thanks, man.
Hey, tell Digby I said what's up.
I will tell him what's up.
All right.
He kick flips over. Ow! Whoa! Ouchie. That's a nat one.
Smashes a glass on his way out the door. Yeah.
Mazel tov.
Trying to be cool. Yeah. So we pull away from that. So we undergo kind of a period of time where we see kind of each of the apprentices kind of learning to whatever degree they're able to kind of a few days. Yeah, underneath these the Silverhand members, and then comes kind of the end of the week, and it is going to be the first kind of welcome banquet. And Cal comes down to you guys. And is like, hey guys. Hey, how's everybody doing? How's the week been?
Yo, Cal!
Hey, Thurman, my man.
It's been okay. I'm really, I feel like the calluses on my hands from mucking out the dragon horde is really teaching me to manage my expectations.
Sometimes learning to manage your expectations is the quest giver gives.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like, this green color is just really like, I feel like I'm in a cage, if I could only have like a color like black,
I told you I would dye it. You don't even have to come to my room.
No, I feel like, no offense, but I feel like if I do anything, then I have to actually start talking to you.
I get that.
Digby.
I found the ink. As Digby hands you a big bottle of ink that is, as you look at it more closely, it's definitely like a dark blue and not.
It took this guy a full week to get that for you.
Thanks.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do you need anything else?
Oh, God. No, thanks. This is fine. This is great. I really appreciate it.
Chew. And just starts coughing and walks off slowly off stage. Exits stage left, but over the course of about half an hour. So Cal's like, all right guys, so tonight's the welcome feast, the welcome banquet, and I'll tell you, I'm here to tell you what your quest is for tonight. Quest is for tonight is you're gonna serve at the banquet. Because you gotta learn to serve.
Excuse me. The banquet is welcoming us.
That's right, my man Az.
Cool.
We're serving at the banquet. I am
Absolutely.
not a servant.
Look, we all have to learn to serve before we can learn to adventure. That's just how it goes.
Y'all gotta get used to this. People just let you down.
I put a hand on Gromler's shell. Do you need to talk about anything?
Please don't touch me.
Okay.
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the. Well, I guess it's Friday, so I was gonna make that.
I got chronic Mondays.
Well, somebody's got a quest to cheer up a little bit. Am I right? Am I right?
You're gross.
Oh, it's hurtful side. I
I
think
think we're
that's
gonna
what,
find something out about you later on.
I hope we get to be buds. I hope we're all gonna be great friends. But for tonight, here, I've got these serving kind of uniforms, and you guys just line up at the kitchen over there, and they'll give you things to bring out, and we're gonna have a great time. This is gonna be such a good learning experience. I believe in you all.
Well, I do like to learn. Okay.
Crudy, at least the uniform's black.
Alright, I'll do it.
The uniforms are indeed black. They're like a fancier jumpsuit, but with special cuffs and like a little kind of built-in tie.
Like a tuxedo t-shirt.
It's not dissimilar to a tuxedo t-shirt.
Does it
Yeah.
go under my shell or over the shell?
You're not clear what to do with it. What do you do with it?
I'm gonna try to shove it up the shell.
Yeah. So are you trying to finagle it, or are you trying to just shove it up your shell?
I'm trying to finagle it to go up, but it's not working, so I'm just kind of yanking it like
Okay.
it's a wedgie.
Let's give an athletics check to see how much of a wedgie you give yourself.
Oh.
18.
You are so successful at just yanking it right up.
I'm pretty much comfortable.
And you guys kind of does anybody else do anything in particular here? Likewise, you're kind of getting dressed for the banquet.
I'm just thinking about lyrics to this new song that I'm gonna write about the oppression that I'm feeling right now.
I think mine was built for someone who's 4 feet tall and at a 3 feet tall height. I have to roll up the sleeves many times.
Some thick rolls. Yeah.
But otherwise, great fit.
Mm-hmm.
As puts on his finest clothing. It's all been pressed and very well maintained.
Many pleats.
So many pleats.
Yeah.
But he will not put on like standard uniform.
All right.
I use unseen servant to like create a little dressing room around me, like a cloth, and then I just slip out of my dress and into the jumpsuit and I zip it up. And it's made for a much smaller person, so it's straining at the cuffs.
Yeah, kind of very gangly, kind of like limbs, kind of like all stretched out.
Like my hobgoblin arms, long arms, short torso. Yeah.
Classic hobgoblin.
Yeah, it's classic. Right out of the handbook.
Very good. The other thing that you all have noticed kind of in the week here is that Digby appears to be the only kind of living servant. Like there are a few things that you all have noticed about the Citadel as you all have been kind of making your way around. Like one is that there are a lot of like kind of clockwork servant contraptions that seem to be kind of puttering around. All of them are kind of in some state of like mild disrepair. Like there's even a few darkened corridors, and the Citadel itself is kind of less kept than you might have been imagining. Even on the nicer side, the part that isn't destroyed, which they basically spend all your time on the nice side. But there are still kind of darkened corridors where like broken mechanical servants are kind of like piled in corners, and there's just a degree of disrepair about the place that is notable to you all. And yeah, Digby is the only living, if you can call Digby living, servant. So you go to the kitchen and there's just kind of like a little cavalcade of these like clockwork servants kind of cooking things and bringing out like platter after kind of platter, covered platter like set out in front, and they kind of direct you. Digby eventually makes his way back and starts to direct you to take the platters out. So yes, go ahead.
I don't understand. Why couldn't these people, why couldn't they do it?
Digby?
This is good.
It's not your food. It's the host's food. It's the hands. Good girl. Take the platters out. One at a time. Hyacinth, here, take. And he kind of strains to try and lift the platter and hand it to you, and he's just like.
I got it. Digby, don't strain yourself. I like stoop down and grab it.
Thank you. I'm not as strong as I used to be.
Digby, do they pay you?
This is my quest.
Bummer. This is awakening a class consciousness in me.
Well, and you would know, from Scatterwing, your father, who is the kind of local alderman, and from attending many small-scale political meetings, there's the goblins are definitely among the more class-conscious of the groups, and are certainly kind of working for that. So that makes a lot of sense there. Yeah, and kind of directs you through a door. As you all kind of enter the...
just a really tall girl just trying to hunch. Just trying to really up high, reaching down like, here you are.
You all enter this massive kind of ballroom, and there the five are, and a lot of empty seating, and they're sitting at this kind of grand dais, and just kind of looking expectantly, kind of as you all are bringing it up, and Cal's like,
Cal! I have the tray full. Keep it above the table.
Is anybody having difficulty holding their tray?
My arms are too short, my belly's too big. It's hard to hold.
So what do you, as you kind of fumble with that, like how do you end up carrying the tray then?
I've got like thumb claw down, the other one's out, and it's kind of to the side.
Yeah.
But it's not sturdy.
We'll call it since you're kind of holding it down with your thumb, let's do a thumb strength check. So
We haven't done that in a while.
yeah, there we go. Just let's see how it goes. It starts to waver. You start to lose it. Does anybody do anything?
Oh, yeah, can I cast Unseen Servant to run over and help her balance it?
Yeah, sure.
I would like to.
What does that look like?
So,
You've already set down your platter.
yeah, I set it on top of someone's head for a second, one of the clockwork servants, just and I snap my fingers, and there's like a puff of amethyst smoke, and then it like floats out and disappears, and then it's like a little force of wind, and it like levels out the
Nice.
platter. Whoa. That's what friends do.
Anybody else having any difficulty with their platters?
Yeah, I'm holding it with utter disdain.
Perfectly correctly, but just pissed.
Oh.
Are you trying to hide the disdain at all, or is it very, very clear to anybody watching?
He's trying to hide it, but it's not working.
All right, let's call it a deception check. Let's see how well Az is hiding their disdain for the task.
5?
Yeah.
Plus 5 is 10.
Yeah. I mean, you're
This
keeping
is servant's work!
Yes. Yeah.
Where's Voltaga? She should be doing this, not me.
Hey, Az, my man, you're not muttering as quietly as you think you are.
Reach.
Okay, so you know what I'm saying then. Why am I doing servant's work?
This is an important part. If you can't learn to do this, what's going to happen when you're going to need to like serve one of your team members? Like the adventure party, you have to count on one another, and this is us counting on you to deliver our food.
Well, that does make
here's
sort
my
of sense.
This feels toxic.
I keep eating what's on my.
All right.
Inspired by Critty, I like giggle and start trying.
So both of you.
That I can't reach.
Yeah, so both of you, I need like either sleight of hand checks to see if anybody else notices you eating the food.
Okay.
I have a 3 plus 5. So
That's a 15.
Yeah. All right. So Hyacinth is able to very quietly kind of grab a few mouthfuls, but you see Critty, honey. Critty, honey, that's not for you. Now, I need you to learn this.
Oh, so much drool.
That's a lot on the floor. We'll get one of the servants to pick it up. Now, we'll make sure you all get some dinner here afterwards, but for the moment, if you all wouldn't mind just bringing us what you got here, we have developed a mighty hunger teaching you all, of course, and being the silver hand is just such hungry work, you understand. Yeah, all right. Thurman, I see you nodding your head. I see you get it, young man. Yeah, just bring that on over here.
Perfect. I walk it over the top of my arms and actively try to convince every single one of them why each dish is good and not to just pick their favorite one. Like, you gotta try them all.
Sure.
Yeah, you gotta, I mean, like, what?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Should be no problem.
Yeah.
Nat 20. The mystery of the meat is how they got it so good.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you are like this tiny kobold, super persuasive. He is really making a good point. Yeah, I do say they all do look delicious. Now let's do a more kind of family style, and we'll all kind of share some dishes here. And,
What did you just say?
Well, no, just what I said here on the dice, Thurman.
No, what did you just say, man?
I said family style.
No. This is friend style.
We'll quibble over the terminology perhaps a bit later, but we'll see.
Did you write that last name thing?
What are you talking about, young man?
Thurman, no last name. Some data entry looking dude just typing away on some sort of artifice typewriter, just trying to get my goat. Is that what you're trying to do? Get my goat?
Well, technically we own all the property below us.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I suppose we would own it, but I mean, not to quibble over that. But that's all right. That's all right. So it sounds like the form. The official notification letters maybe came through with a little bit of a typo.
A clerical error.
Yes, it's a clerical error. Right? That's all. That's all. It's okay. It's all right. Settle yourself down, young man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do all right.
During this, I snuck away and I'm smoking one of Fistra's.
There's left on my tray.
As throws the tray on the table in front of them and then stands
Yeah.
there just mad.
Got it all the way back.
I've got Nubby and an unseen servant taking 2 extra trays. This is efficiency. My dads would be so proud.
You just see like well, what does it look like with, how does Nubby is about yay big, so like how is Nubby carrying the tray is what I'm curious about.
I feel like Nubby tried to fly, can't, and is now waddling across the ground with a tray that I've strapped to his back. And it's the cutest thing you've ever seen, but there are some crudités falling off for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, so there's this kind of like covered platter, like, or this platter with like crudité kind of wobbling across the floor, and fine.
The gnomes love it.
And just love it. So you all, you watch, and Digby comes out and kind of directs you all to kind of stand against the wall while they kind of dig into this kind of first round. And as they
You have to watch them eat?
is an important part of the. Never mind. Just in case we need anything. So as you all are, kind of waiting there, and they're kind of digging in, right? Like they're really kind of laughing up. They're telling all these kind of old stories about kind of past conquests and hijinks and adventures. In many ways, it's being a fly on the wall, like around some very exciting people, but also you're very hungry, except for Critty. So
I've heard all of these before. I
Yeah.
have all the graphic novels. Yeah, I know this one.
So as that's happening, Critty, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
6.
Okay. So as you so you feel just a burning rush of bile coming up as like almost like everything that you have eaten, basically everything that you've eaten, starts to kind of come up, and you vomit all over the floor. Yeah, and it just comes out. It just comes out.
I thought it was gonna be books.
Better than our last single.
Oh no,
There's like a big drip still.
I'm between you two. Why on me?
Michelle.
The thing that you notice as her vomit is splattered on both of you is that it burns. It burns in a way that it probably shouldn't be. And you have noticed that despite that very unseemly display of Critty, that nobody on the dais is saying anything, and you all look over to the dais, and you see each of them like turning a shade of like paler and paler and paler, sweating profusely, clutching their stomachs, and you see the beginnings of like trails of smoke start to kind of emerge from their orifices, like kind of just trickling out of like their mouths. Their eyes begin to kind of weep blood, and one after another, they explode into massive chunks across, just like.
Cal?
Hey, but
No! My boy! Thurman, no! No, Thurman, it's okay. What's not okay? It's fucking wild.
And
It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm at peace with this.
And as you all kind of like as that happens, you see Digby with what? Well, does anyone try to read Digby's expression?
Yeah, I'll do it.
I don't like to look at him.
Okay, all right. It's gonna be it's gonna be an insight check for anybody who wants to roll.
What's a nat 1 get me?
Is Digby into you?
Can't blame him.
I got an 18.
Okay, so while Thurman is trying to figure out what his future with Digby might look like, Hyacinth, Digby looks smug in a way that you are not aware of, and he shuffles over to the middle of the table, and there's still this big covered platter in the middle, and he raises the lid, and this image springs up of a tall, kind of slender woman who, with kind of bandages wrapped about her, with like really piercing amethyst eyes, and it's almost like a recording starting up, right? But it started up a little too late, so it's like.
Why are you laughing?
Digby, what the fuck?
Well, the silver hand. I hope Digby's remembered to start this up at the right place because I want to be laughing as you utter your last breath.
Missed.
You missed. I told you that the silver hand could have 6 fingers, but no, you said it always had to be 5 fingers. How normative is that? We've got so many species in the world. There are lots of different sets of fingers. Why could it only be 5? Why couldn't it be 6? And I took that feedback and I brooded on it. I brooded on it, and I brooded on it, and I simmered on it, and I seethed on it, and I ruminated, and I developed a foolproof plan for revenge. And now, 150 years later, I have finally bested you. Now I give you 1 finger. 1 finger!
I was the
This
bad
guy's side.
I'm also going to, just to be petty, destroy that little town of yours below, and all the people who think you're so great, because they need to know the truth about you, and the way they'll learn the truth is if I... Digby, don't keep recording. We'll cut this later. Dear, they have to learn their lesson. They have to learn their lesson, and they'll learn it this way, with my wrath. So, good luck stopping me now that you're dead. Ha, ha, ha. And the recording cuts off.
They had me at finger and they lost me at destroy the whole city.
Okay, Digby, what the fuck?
My 36 brothers and sisters.
Oh.
Yeah. Digby!
Out with it, Digby. Laugh faster.
I will no longer be the butt of their jokes. She was the only one who respected me. And look at me. I'm beautiful.
It is good to love yourself. This is true.
Digby, no, you're hideous.
Roll a deception check for me.
Digby, you're hideous, you're disgusting. You doubled over, it's not a good look. 13.
Yeah, looks at you kind of good. Try. So the other thing that you all are noticing here is that the remains of the hand smell really good. Like weirdly good. Like delicious good. Like barbecue, like just really, really good. I do need a series of wisdom saving throws from everybody.
4.
17.
Oh.
13.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
18.
18. Okay. So, almost of your own, like without any conscious will, Critty and Thurmond and Hyacinth find yourself like moving towards the dais and just throwing yourself on the first pile of remains that you see and just
Dibs on Cal.
going at it.
No, I want his hat.
What are you doing? You're eating people!
Oh. Yes.
Hard to fight.
It's hard to find. It's strange. It's disgusting, but it's delicious. And as you all do so, you feel some strange rush of power enter you, like something that is just like surging through you, as though some remnant of like their skills and selves is kind of entering you.
I feel like I could write a sermon about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, you guys gotta try some of this people.
For Az and for Gromler, how do you all respond to this?
Father wouldn't mind, so I don't.
So yeah, so you're doing it very intentionally. They're like under a compulsion of some sort. What does it look like for Az to very purposefully go and do
Do I
this?
see that they like get stronger from each
I mean,
It
you
looks like
see-
something
I'm
happens.
curious.
You see this kind of like aura of like vitality like among them as they eat, and there's something that seems really attractive about them kind of as they're devouring these things.
I'll nibble, but I've been smoking a lot of cigarettes.
As goes and gets a napkin and a fork and a knife, and sets up a very nice bib thing, and
Yeah. As you all are doing this, you hear like the clank of a door shutting, and the sound of a bolt being thrown. And you notice that Digby is no longer in the room, as you all have been kind of devouring it. You all feeling strange and powerful, but now suddenly a siren kind of sounds within it. It says, "Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Intruder alert!"
Hope they don't want any people.
It just occurred to me, probably not a good look for the five of us right now.
My mouth is full of why.
And as from kind of the corners of the rooms where they were, all the mechanical clockwork creation servants kind of seem to shut down for a second, and their eyes glow red now, and they start to head towards you. And that is where we are going to call it for this evening, gentlemen. I get some cast here. Jones, our sound person. Please, I'm going to tip your servers and your wait staff. Our next session will be next week, next Thursday. Also, another great local live play show is Catacombs Comedians that Allison is kindly on loan from here. And so the next one is October 23rd, so at 24th at Zany's. So I always want to support our local D&D community. Thank you all so much for coming out.
Give it up here,
supporting your local community. Remember that your ticket tonight gets you 25% off all D&D product and dice at the Game Cave in Hermitage.
Yeah. Also, if you see these posters and you like them, you can buy them right back there at that table.